I like short barrels. What can I say? What's up, guys? Joe here from ScruffyArms.com and the Scruffy fam. Hey, if you're new here, please hit that like button, subscribe, and I really appreciate everybody who's subscribed lately. We are well on our way to 1,000. I appreciate everybody. I really, really do. So I had a conversation yesterday with my wife that was really, really funny. She's like, why do you keep getting rifles that are shorter and shorter? Well, you know, it really got me to thinking. I'm like, you know what, honestly, I have been starting to put a priority on getting shorter barrel rifles. Now, I have a shotgun that has a 28-inch barrel. This is my Winchester SXP 12-gauge pump-action shotgun. It has a 28-inch barrel, and I've got my turkey choke on there. So this is actually like 29 inches. I don't think... Yeah, if it's standing on the floor, it comes up... Now, I'm 5'11", and this comes up mid-chest on me already. And, you know, something this long is not a lot of fun to carry around. I have done pheasant hunting and turkey hunting with this shotgun, and it is a beast. It is huge. This thing is absolutely huge. But you need that in some shotguns to get the velocity and keep that pattern tight to do what you need to do. But we're talking about rifles, not shotguns. Now this is my Ruger American Ranch in 7.62 by 39. It is in the Sharps Brothers Heat Seeker chassis, okay? And what I really love about this is a 16-inch barrel, okay? 16.1 something to keep it all legal. But this thing is extremely compact, and man, is this nice to carry through the thick stuff. Okay, I live in Wisconsin, and there are some cut fields, but then there's also a lot of forest areas and just rolling hills, and having something that's this small and compact, it is really easy to get through that, and having the ability to increase the length of pull while not making this super long is really great. On top of it, if you choose to suppress something like this, most suppressors are going to run around close to 6 inches. There's some that are longer, some that are shorter, but the average is about 6 inches. So with a 16-inch barrel at a 6-inch can, I'm only looking at 22 inches. Most commercial hunting rifles these days are coming out at about 22 inches. Okay, some are at 24, but most are coming out at 22. So you're talking, I could get the rifle with a suppressor on it under 22 inches for a short barrel rifle like this. That's really cool. Now, what does it do if I've got a short barrel? This thing is a tack driver. This will consistently get under 1 MOA at 100 yards. For a 7.62 by 39 out of a bolt-action rifle to do sub-MOA and even half MOA with factory ammo is pretty impressive. Now this is my 6.5 Creedmoor. This is a Ruger American Go Wild edition that has been spruced up quite a bit. It's in the MDT Oryx chassis, and I've got a Monstrum Tactical 6x36 on here. This thing is meant to be more of a target shooting rifle, okay? I've talked about the possibility of hunting with this, and while it is perfectly capable as a hunting rifle, this is really great for target shooting. This came with a 22-inch barrel. By putting the muzzle brake on the end, that extends it out to a 24-inch barrel. Now, if I take the muzzle brake off and I put a suppressor on this, I will then have a 28-inch barrel. We're talking the exact same length as my shotgun, and when we looked at that, that is huge. Now imagine putting a can on the end of this, which is already super long. The balance point for this is right here. If I add that much more weight, it's going to start to tilt forward, okay? And it starts to disrupt the balance of the rifle. But it's going to keep my velocities up, which is really, really important when I'm shooting stuff long range. So when you need that velocity for your bullets to perform, long barrels are absolutely absolutely necessary. But even at 22 inches, I think we're starting to play the game of 22 is kind of long. Well, what about the classics? This is my Ruger M77. This was produced in 1979, okay, 1979. It had a 22-inch barrel. By adding this muzzle brake on the end, now made it a 24-inch barrel. The exact same thing, 22 inches for a heavy Magnum like this is necessary to get the appropriate velocities that you need. Now, is this something that I would suppress? Absolutely. But what's it going to do once I suppress this? It's going to add, again, another 6 inches to the end. So one of these classics like this still is coming in at a super long barrel. And while that is great for the intended use of this for the big game hunting, you know, it's still pretty long. Do you really want to be walking around on an elk hunt carrying something this big and this heavy? This is about a 10+ pound rifle, which is wonderful to shoot, but not always the best thing to hike around with. Well, that brings us to this. My Remington 700 SPS Tactical with a 16.5-inch barrel. Now, this isn't the lightest of rifles. This Hogue overmolded stock, this is still about a 9-pound rifle. But the great thing about this is if I put a can on the end of this, again, I'm looking at a 22-inch barrel. The same thing as that 6.5 Creedmoor came with, the same thing that my 270 has right off the bat. And I want to show you guys something. This is my Winchester Model 70 and 270 Winchester. And this is my Remington 700 in 308. Look at the difference in that barrel. Okay, I have these things lined up. They're lined up exactly. And there is a significant difference between the two. I have a 2-inch muzzle brake on this. If I take that 2-inch muzzle brake off, it is an even more outstanding difference between these two rifles. If I put a can on this, it will be the exact same length as this rifle, just like that. Well, that's all well and good when we talk about those differences. So what does it do by getting a short barrel rifle? Well, there are some drawbacks to a short barrel rifle. You get reduced velocity. There are all kinds of charts out there to talk to you about what the lost velocity is. You can average 20 to 50 feet per second loss per inch of barrel, okay? Most manufacturers tested a 24-inch barrel. Why they do that now, I do not know. I don't think that is appropriate anymore. Most people are coming out with a 22 or 20-inch barrel. Production is standard for their rifles now, so doing the 24-inch just makes the velocity numbers look better, to be completely honest. The only way to truly understand what velocity you're getting is to shoot over a chronograph. Now, chronographs are not for everybody. They're expensive. There's a lot of different options that are out there for chronographs, and there are several YouTubers that shoot over chronographs to share velocities that they've gotten. But not everybody's got the same rifle. Not all ammo performs the same in every rifle either. The only way to truly understand your velocity loss is to get a chronograph. Now, I have shot plenty of rifles with different barrel lengths, and I will tell you, accuracy-wise, I don't see any difference whatsoever when you have the appropriate ammunition with the appropriate rifle. Accuracy stays the same. The biggest thing you're losing is velocity. But my challenge to people is that in an AR platform weapon, most barrels are 18 inches and shorter. Why you would have a 20-inch barrel in an AR platform, I don't know. That's not the intended purpose of them. They're meant to be small. But you've got 18 and 16-inch barrels all over the place that are extremely accurate and extremely handy. Why in a tactical rifle would we want the shorter barrel, but in a hunting rifle we would want a long barrel? It seems to me that if you're an avid hunter and you're going to be walking a lot and you're going to be going in tight places, having a short barrel rifle makes all the sense in the world. You can get 16 point something barrels and 18-inch barrels from most manufacturers in all of the common calibers. If you have a traditional hunting rifle like I do, when it comes time to change the barrel out, or if you have the means to change the barrel out, you can get custom barrels for very affordable prices at a much shorter barrel length, and you're not going to lose anything really except a little bit of velocity. Now, does that matter if you're shooting long-range precision matches? Absolutely. Does it matter if you're hunting in areas where your shots aren't more than 300, 400, 500 yards? No, it really doesn't. So, guys, today I just wanted to talk about the short barrels, what their benefit is, and why they're coming around. If you have any short barrel rifles, and I'm not talking the NFA SBRs, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the 16-inch and 18-inch barrels of the world. How many of you have those? How many of you are running them? How many of you chose those because of running a suppressor as well? Let me know. I'm really curious. And what type of hunting do you do? I hunt out of a blind. I hunt public land walking. I hunt out of a tree stand. I do all three things. And you know what? Most of those I prefer to have the short barrel rifle as opposed to the long ones. So guys, again, thank you very much for watching. I look forward to the conversations that we have. I have 2 rifles that have the 16-inch barrels. Most of the other ones have 22-inch barrels. What do you have? I'm wildly curious. And what is the next rifle that you are the most excited about? Until next time, guys, be blessed.